Here we are. We made it back. Episode 2 of the Reality Check. I'm Mike Scully, the host, and I'm here in studio with my guys again. I got John, J. Nick, the beautiful bald man from Free Shoes University, and Caitlin Clark's #1 fan.
Let's go, baby.
And then the man from the University of South Alabama. He got lost somewhere in Mobile, but he's back with us today. Patrick Trick Leslie.
All right.
And then over there, my man Yoda, Mr. Carl Nicolosi.
Here we go.
And then we got the owner of Shooter's Bar and Grill, which was trending on Twitter last week, Mr. Shooter, Scott Weiland.
Hello, mates.
How we doing, lads?
Awesome.
Tip top.
We doing
Fantastic.
Roger,
Fantastic.
Dodger.
All right, I'm going to start us off today. Obviously, when we came up with this process, we talked about talking about anything from politics to sports. And we don't want, there's so many people out there talking about the political world, but I'm just going to focus for about 30 seconds here. What happened Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania, I can just say is sad.
Agreed.
And it's a sad state for where our country's at right now, and somehow, some way, we've got to get our way out of it. But we're happy that that President Trump is okay. We're very, very sorry for the Campatori family who lost a father, a husband, saving their lives, and the 2 gentlemen that were wounded. It's very sad, and a very sad state of affairs. I've been watching the Republican National Convention this week. I thought one of the coolest moments, though, I have seen, I'm going to talk about, you heard me talk about it in the green room before, was Donald Jr.'s daughter, 17-year-old daughter, was talking, came up and gave a speech last night. Kai, beautiful young lady. They got some great genes in that Trump family. But talking about Grandpa calling her while she's in school, asking about her golf game, and then saying, "Hey, Grandpa, can I call you after I'm actually in school?" So I think is a different side of the person that we see, and obviously the media makes out to be a demon. That's why I'm gonna stop there. But we're happy that
Yes.
that failed attempt, and I'll just say screw the frickin' Iranians.
Well, big thanks to the Secret Service and his security detail. Just watching them go to work was just, really goes out to the exceptionalism of who they are, and just to give your life for someone, it takes a special person.
Well, those folks that jumped on top of him on stage, I'm going to give massive kudos
To those, yes.
But there's going to be more that's coming out and talked about on other channels and other shows. But
Right.
There was some epic failure to even put him up on stage, which we'll get to the bottom of, and we'll talk about that at a later date. Let's jump into a more positive topic. And obviously, they started this morning over at Royal Troon. The British Open kicked off, the final major of the year, and Justin Thomas got the better draw of the weather and went out and shot a little 3 under 69 or 68 this morning. Tiger's struggling. I think he finished at 8 over. Phil Mickelson was at +3. I know Scotty and Jordan Spieth are hanging around even par. It's just interesting to see how, obviously, the majors. Bryson, I think, shot, 5 or 6 over?
Yes. Lowry's like -4, right?
Yeah, I think Shane's leading. Well, was leading when we came on in studio to start
Right.
shooting today, and going through all that stuff. But obviously, you play across the pond. It's the luck of the draw. If you get the morning wave and you get good weather, or you come back and you might get the afternoon with the high winds, or it could be vice versa. But we'll have to wait and see how that's the last major of the year. I got one bone of contention, and you know me, with this golf, I get something ripping.
Golf's your baby, Scully.
It rips my ass. But Paul McGinley this morning on the coverage was talking about John Rahm. John Rahm, I think, finished at +1 or +2, and he has been in the top 10 of every live event this year. Has not played well in the majors. And Paul McGinley makes some asinine comment like, "Well, he's not being challenged with the courses they play." And I think Paul needs to wake the fuck up, because we're going to compare the TPC at River Highlands up in Connecticut, where it was a birdie fest. The live guys just played Valderrama, which is one of the hardest golf courses on the planet last week, and I think Sergio won at -5 in a playoff. I mean, it just
hypocritical much?
Well, when's the bullshit going to stop?
It's not.
I'm
mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
Paul's just going to be Paul. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, but it's got to stop.
He's just trying to build his brand. I mean, you can't fault him for it, even though he's completely wrong. He's just trying to build his brand, and live is bad, PGA is good. even though we have minus 29 compared to minus 5.
Yeah, sometimes when it comes out of the mouth, it just so.
Hey, Skull. You mentioned about the weather this morning. I mean, aren't these guys professionals? Aren't these guys good? I mean, when I play in those high winds and rain, when I hit that golf tee ball, I mean, I'm money. That golf tee game.
Well, I'm going to say you were money last week because you happened to be my partner on Saturday, and you carried my large carcass all the way around the golf course.
Yes, I did.
I played like a rented mule.
Well, my back still hurts.
I think he's referring to golden tea.
Golden tea,
right?
Yeah.
Golden tea.
Exactly. I know. But I will tell you, your brother was money last week on the actual full-scale golf course.
Well, Morgan Wallen's a professional, and he bailed on Saturday, so I don't know if that goes too far.
Yeah, that's right. You guys were all up there in Tampa, weren't you?
We were up there to see a great concert, and there was no concert to be had. But, kudos to Jelly Roll, trying to turn lemons and lemonade, did a little thing on the side. He didn't have to, but he did. It was good. Good for him.
Well, let's. You were in Tampa. How was Burns Steakhouse? Did you do the experience?
We did. The dessert room was phenomenal. Our person waiting on us was great. Highly recommend it. It was really good. Capitol Grill was phenomenal, though. Actually, if I'm going to be honest, the food at Capitol Grill was better than Burns, but that dessert room is second to none.
Yeah.
Hey, Trick, where was my invitation?
You want to talk to Mark King about that? I don't know.
Okay,
I was an invitee.
I see how you're going to be.
Did I dodge that bullet enough?
Oh, for sure.
Well, I'm glad you guys made it back all right. Johnny, I'm gonna ring you up right now. Did you see what she did last night?
I'm going to save that for my last comment of the show, okay? So I have something to say, yes. Okay. So can we just, pause that?
Table it.
Okay.
Yeah, table it for a little bit.
Well, there's...
Right. I got it. Okay. I got it. All right.
We're good. If you get on as my boys Marty and McGee would say, you get on the Twitter feed.
Oh, that was funny.
You get the concept with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men.
Yes.
How they
when he's on trial.
You can't handle the truth.
Exactly.
Yes.
But you need me on that wall.
You want me on that wall.
That was good stuff. But yeah, so they're having some fun with that. But obviously,
all right, moving on.
24-19. All right, we had SEC Media Days going on this week. Obviously, college football is just around the corner, fellas.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously, Trick, you're a Gator, and then Johnny and Carl, obviously being Florida State guys. Florida State's still searching for a conference, but we'll see, because I don't know if you call the ACC a conference.
Not anymore.
Doesn't matter. We just get wins, so it's all good.
It's all good?
It's all good.
Yeah. How about... the funny part about this is that my 16-year-old son, has been playing this NCAA 25, which is the NCAA, the video game, hours on end. But I will tell you, the graphics in this thing are insane. And always be Bama and take Jalen Milroe.
There you go.
We'll
do they have their names on the back of their jerseys now, seeing as how they're getting paid for it? They can actually put their names on it?
Well,
not just the number?
Go back and thank Ed O'Bannon and his kids saying, hey, Dad, that looks an awful lot like you. And he sued and won. So, but kudos to that. Great game. And I think the guy's been playing it all over the place, and it's all over the internet. So I'm not a video game guy myself, but it's fun and that type of stuff. How about our boy Bronny?
Oh, for what? From
Shooter, what were his statistics so far from 3? 0 for the planet?
0 for 15 and 6 for 26 field goal percentage. Unbelievable.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah, guaranteed contract picked. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's making millions to do that. Good job.
Yeah, he should be in college, but he's
LeBron should be ashamed of himself.
Oh,
give him a little bit of time. Stop being haters.
Talk about privilege.
Stop being haters. You and Caitlin Clark.
He
give him a little bit of time. He doesn't deserve to be there, John.
Exactly.
Hey,
he hasn't earned it.
That is the epitome of privilege.
Yeah, the poor kid last year damn near died of cardiac arrest on the court. Barely played during the regular season at SC, working his health back.
Average 4 points.
But now he goes right to the NBA Summer League as a second-round pick.
I think he'll get a little bit of, just got to get his feet wet, get his timing down, get to the game speed, and we'll know. You don't have to judge him right now. Just give him 6 weeks, and then we can talk about it.
Okay. Well, 6 weeks will be in
He's
the
on
G
the
League.
clock.
Yeah, it's 6 weeks. Yeah, he'll only be cut in the G League.
He'll be in the G League.
Well, there you go. We'll have our
Because
answer.
if he's on it, what I've seen so far in his product, what have they played? 4 or 5 games, 6 games?
That was on a 4-game stretch.
Yeah, through that stretch. Yeah, that if he makes the active roster, I'll be shocked.
Well, if he does, it's once again because of his dad, not because of his ability. And that sucks, but that's the reality we live in.
Yeah, the reality check.
There you
Who
go.
you
It's
know.
the truth as we see it.
Who you know?
It is who you know.
All right, we're gonna. I've got to go back and I got to bang on COPA. And obviously, the game itself was one thing, but what the hell are those fans thinking? John, Carl, my soccer boys. I mean, Joe Robbie. It'll always be Joe Robbie to me. For those trying to figure out where that's at, it's where the Dolphins play. I think it's Hard Rock Stadium now.
Look,
It is.
for everybody out there that is completely like flabbergasted and oh my goodness, and I can't believe this is happening. We can go back to country after country after country. Happened in England where they had stampedes and people died. Yes, we needed more
Security.
Security by all means. There was a lot of things that, there was some failures out there that goes without saying, and this is a test. And America's got to get better when it comes to the World Cup coming up next soon. So, but it is what it is, and soccer is a very passionate sport. I mean, people come and will die for their fan base, and that's just it's just more evidence just for the love of the game. But it's unheard of. It's uncalled for. I get all that, and we want to make sure we have safe environments for spectators. Just need a little bit more security.
Yeah, but
I actually think there's nothing wrong with that. I think they lost their ticket and they were just trying to find a way in.
Yeah, that's it.
through the air conditioning
Through
duct?
the air ducts, over the wall,
Over the walls.
knocking
Well-
down the security.
Well, the
Yeah, that
gates
was-
were crowded, so they found another way.
I mean, they shattered all the glass on the escalators going from level 1 to level 2. I mean, it is insane. It
John,
It
you,
was
was like a
crazy.
prison break.
you call it passionate. I call it uncouth. I don't because we
Hard
listen,
Rock, bring down that wall.
That's right. You want me on that wall. But no, I mean, okay, we have NFL has 18 games a year when they play their season. That never happens, ever. Have you ever seen that happen in any NFL game? Any hockey game?
Have you ever been to a Philly-Detroit game? There's been times, I'm talking about
Not getting
people
in.
sneaking in, but, it just, there's been a lot of brawls. There's been a lot of bad
100%.
behavior.
We're not saying fighting. You can go out and you get in the dog pound in Cleveland. You can go out back in the days when the Raiders played out in Oakland.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, is it Miami like northern Central America? I mean, it's
English may not be the native
Well,
tongue there, but
Correct me if I'm wrong, Carl, if my geography's off, my University of Illinois education, but I do believe those two countries are in South America, not Central America.
wear the hat.
Yoda
Wear the
comes
hat. Very
through.
good. It was a test. It was a test.
I had to learn my geography because I got
Well.
banged on real hard on social media last week because I screwed up Rome versus Paris. And I'm supposed to be the golf guy. But thinking about these damn Olympics,
yes.
we still should have left Zach in freaking Rome, but now,
My man.
that's a whole nother deal. So I would be wearing the Yoda mask for being the one who screwed up. So
Yeah, I tried to see about getting one, and I couldn't get one delivered by the show. My
Yeah.
bad. It should be here for the next one, though.
well, when you get corrected by your father saying, "Hey, dumbass," they were in Rome. It was 6 years ago. They were in Paris. So, or 4 years, whatever it was. But yeah, corrected on that.
It happens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got coming up the next round. We're going to break down wide receivers and have some fun with that. We got a hard out here in about 10 seconds, and we want to thank our man Tito Ortiz and Tito's Cantina in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida.
Great food.
Unbelievable food and great cocktails and just the ambiance of our favorite UFC guy. So thank you, Tito, and Tito's Cantina. And we'll be back momentarily. Thank you. And we're back. Again, we want to thank Tito and Tito's Cantina over there in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida for their sponsorship. Great place. Strongly recommend. Great food, great atmosphere, just great people. Guys, we in the first segment, one of the things I wanted to get to, which we ran out a little bit of time up against the hard break there, but obviously this week was the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. And you guys always hear me say that candid phrase. It's like watching paint dry.
Right.
Is my candid. I guess I went in the box. It was a tough watch. I thought the home run derby Monday night was not real good, but the thing that I'm going to talk about and bring up was the national anthem.
Oh Lord.
I mean, what in God's name? And that young lady's talented. There's songs out there that I like that she sings.
Allegedly
that she was obviously intoxicated and supposedly has checked herself into rehab, but it was
Beer bongs.
It was awful. I mean, it made brought back chills of Roseanne Barr.
I guess technically Roseanne's the first Hawk Tui girl.
And spell that name.
Oh boy!
Because then she like grab her crotch and spit after the national anthem.
Well, but the bar's always been set high by the late great Whitney Houston when she did
Well.
it in the old sombrero for the Super Bowl between the Buffalo Bills and the Giants. But that was sad, and it was sad to see. I think a girl's career just destruct on national TV.
It made my ears bleed.
Yeah, it was bad. Well, it's hopefully we wish her well in her stint, and hopefully comes out and gets on the other side because I do believe she's talented.
Let's hear how good she was.
Oh, Shooter, you got it?
For the lands of the free.
Is that English?
And the home of the brave.
Sounds like a 5-year-old.
Okay, but did you just catch that on camera? My two shitheads sitting here with me. If you're going to appropriately pay homage to the national anthem,
should've
put your
removed
heart
my
in your
hat.
chest, take your freaking hats off.
You are not wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What's wrong with you boys?
Yeah, it's exactly. But all good stuff. Well, we're going to get into, obviously, gentlemen, fantasy football coming up. Training camp opens up. Some are in camp now. Some open next week. But we're going to break.
Let's go, Cats and Jammers, baby. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, getting
That's
ready.
right.
It's
Shout out
almost
to
time.
my brother, Cats and Jammers, man. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, getting ready to start.
Very excited.
And excited about that. But we're going to break down the wide receiver group today for the old fantasy
Before
world.
we go into that, John, what does the Catch and Jammers stand for? If you don't know, let me know.
I'm going to let you just say it, the creed.
Okay. All right. No, not the creed, but the Catch and Jammer definition
Oh, of
is
course.
severe headache due to hangover. And that is our creed. That is our name of our fantasy football league that has been here for how many years, boys? 10, 12, 15 years?
No, longer than that. I think I came in 2010, and this is my 14th season.
For many, it's a lifestyle.
Yes, because let's be honest, we are a drinking league that has sprinkled football into it.
So you ever heard of the freshman 15? Well, we have the Cats and Jammer 15.
We have the Cats and Jammer 30.
40.
Well,
I'm living proof of that. I was 205 when
And
you
we
met
never
me.
lose it. We just keep building on it each year and each year. So.
It's like our inflation.
that's the five P's, boys.
Hey,
Proper.
Wegovy, you need to be advertising on our show over here, baby. Come on.
Yeah, well, I woke up with one of those this morning in our little pre-planning meeting last night at Mr. Leslie's house when he, about 10:15, said, "Would you like a glass of bourbon?"
I'm a generous host. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
And was the bourbon good?
The bourbon was fantastic.
There you go.
But when we finished that first bottle and you pulled out the one that looked like lighter fluid, that's when I got worried.
Yeah, well, I bought it for the container. I'm not going to lie.
All right, well, we're getting into the wide receivers. I'm going to let each one of you pick your wild card, how do we want to term it?
Sleeper bust,
pick,
and top 5.
and let you pick those, and then we'll get you into your top 5. I'm gonna let Carl and Mr. Yoda go first today. Who's your sleeper pick there, Mr. Carl?
All right. I know you guys are going to really totally beat me up on this, okay, because it's Mr. Obvious. It's Mr. Ohio State, okay? Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he is what? That's all.
That's your sleeper?
You know what? He's a rookie. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
He's a rookie who's ranked 15th preseason receivers, and he hasn't even caught a pass
I
yet.
understand. He's going to be expensive, so you have to be mindful of that. But I just think, with Arizona, Kyler Murray, he's got to sling that rock, and I think Marvin Harrison is hopefully a safe pick. I mean, I think the record is he's supposed to. Projections are over 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns. Who wouldn't want him on your team?
Okay, you're done. Okay.
Yeah, but that's to take Carl's pick though. That's a big year in Arizona. This is a big year for Kyler Murray. So to have a weapon like that, I don't think I wouldn't call him a sleeper, but
Can you just give me a second?
you got a second.
I'm going to turn the retort over to my buddy Patrick here. Go.
Well, if that's his sleeper, my sleeper is going to be Tyreek Hill. I mean, because I don't see him coming or doing much, but I think he's on. For the love of God, how many passes did you say he's projected to catch, Carl? How many?
Over 100 passes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great sleeper pick. Well done. Man,
He hasn't played down in the NFL.
but he's projected to catch 100 balls. There's people that have been playing in the league for 4 years that have a good year if they catch 20.
Okay, what's your sleeper pick? I mean,
I'm glad you asked because my sleeper pick is Xavier, not Xavier, but Xavier Worthy. Who is he? Well, let me tell you a little background on him and why he's a sleeper. One, he was drafted in the late rounds of the draft, not number 4. 2, he is coming from Texas, and not only did he crush the combine, he ran the fastest. And let me say this again because I know you might be a little slow because you picked Marvin Harrison Jr. as your sleeper. The fastest of all time in the combine, 40-yard dash, 4.21. He beat Neon Dion, who showed up in a fur coat and decided to run the race, get back in his limo, and leave, and still got drafted. Very high.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Exactly. 100%. So but you know who's slinging the rock to this kid that can fly? My boy Patrick Mahomes, who's only second, in my opinion, to Josh Allen. He is going to finally get Tyreek Hill back. It's a taller, faster version of Hill. And before Patrick Mahomes, did you know who Tyreek Hill was? We all know him now. But did you know who he was? No. It was a rhetorical question. You didn't know who he was. This guy, I know who he is. He's not going to be as expensive if you're in salary cap leagues.
He's in the low 30s right now.
Right. So my point is, he is the definition of a sleeper. He's slotted number 3 right now. The number 2 guy is hurt or dinged up, and we all know about receivers. When they get little nicks, they don't do very well. By the end of the year, he's going to win the Rookie of the Year. Done.
Well, they're reporting to training camp with going for a 3-peat, so we'll see how that is. And Mahomes looks good.
Shooter, make sure you mark that in the book. He's calling Rookie of the Year for.
That is correct.
Okay.
Oh, it's there.
All right, Free Shoes, you're up. Who's your sleeper?
Here's Johnny.
Neon Keon Coleman, baby. This guy is electric. Every single time he steps in a room or on the field.
Do you have Chief Osceola tattooed on your ass?
Hey, let me tell you, this
Didn't he
guy.
go to Michigan State? I'm just checking. For 2 years?
You know, you're the example of why two things can be true at once.
Yes.
Creation and evolution. All right?
Yes.
So, you know, you've evolved like as a pufferfish. You have that in your DNA. You're a blowfish. You're all prickly, all nasty, and then you blow up and you get all crazy, and then you just blow in winds. That's all you're talking about. This guy, him and Josh Allen are going to have a special relationship. There are facts on. I can back it up. You want me to back it up?
I'd love for you. I just said he went to Michigan State. Is that not true?
No, he went to Florida State. And he was a leader, number 1, at Florida State. So he's got leadership qualities, which is big in NFL. He's got game speed, which is 21.34 miles per hour, which is the fastest out of the last two years in rookies that have come out. He has a basketball prowess.
Where he played at Michigan State.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for the stats. And he's right up your alley. He was a punt returner.
Oh, I do like that.
So
I like the pick.
Johnny,
I just got to bust your chops.
I like where you're at because he also back through, he had one of the highest combine grades as far as his interviews with the teams. And they've released the video of his interview with the Bills. Exceptional kid.
Yeah, the knock on him is he didn't run the 40 like your guy. So this is going to be a great contest that you and I can go back and forth.
It will be
and
great.
Xavier,
all right, wait. How about why don't we do a $2 bet? All right.
Okay. I mean,
The rookies.
Both
The
of them.
rookies.
Stephon Diggs is no longer in Buffalo, so there's no excuse as far as playing time.
I hear
They're either
you.
going to perform or they're not. Both of our guys, meaning they both have good quarterbacks. I would like that will be our annual thing. We will have to find something to bet a $2 bill on every show.
whoa.
Okay. Well, what about
We don't do anything for $2.
Well,
so.
no, it's not the matter.
Can you make-
It's not
can
the
you make
amount
it a
of
little
money.
bit- all right.
It's the fact that you have to sign a $2 bill, which is bad luck, and say Patrick was right, I was wrong, and then sign your name to it. Or in the off chance it's me, I'll sign my name. Johnny was right, Patrick was wrong.
Done. Done.
All right, let's do it. Shooter.
Keon Coleman. He is going to put a chill on the defenses in the NFL. Watch it.
And he plays in Buffalo, which is cold.
All right, so you got that down, Shooter. Got a $2 wager between the lads.
It's in the books.
And we got their sleeper picks, and we got Carl's picking number 4 overall as a sleeper. Okay,
Boom.
We'll remember that. We're going to go back to you, Carl, because you're going to give us your top 5. Obviously, right now, preseason and the fantasy, they got CeeDee Lamb ranked as the number 1 wide receiver overall. Who are you taking? Who are your top 5?
All right. CeeDee Lamb, I had him last year. I mean, huge. It's one of the reasons why I didn't win it this past year, but I love Tyreek Hill. I love Miami. I think, they do have a bit of a running game, but I love their air attack. So Tyreek Hill is obviously my number 1 pick. I also like Amon St. Brown.
Got
with
a lot
Detroit.
of. He got the bag with the Lions.
Yeah. I love the stats last year. I think the kid's got a lot of potential, and he's also my number 2 pick. Number 3, I am going to go with my Jet. I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson.
Great pick.
Really?
Yeah.
I never hear that from that guy.
I know. I'm a pufferfish. Apparently, I just scare people off with my enormous sack.
But Garrett Wilson, I just have high hopes for Rodgers this year, and I think that combination is going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome.
Did you see your quarterback throwing dimes out at the golf event in Tahoe on the 17th hole? He was throwing dimes to guys jumping off boats into the water. It was unbelievable.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Good stuff. Keep going.
All right. I also love Deebo Samuel, San Francisco. The guy could, run. He could, run out of the back, end arounds. The guy's got great hands. He has a nose for the end zone. I just love that kid.
Trick, did you make his picks for him last night?
He copied, he's talking about homework. Hey, copy it, but make it look a little different. That's what he did last night.
Yoda's cut and paste.
Guys, this is
I think he just reversed a couple of guys.
It's just the orders out of order.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
Say what?
Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
They speak English in what?
All right. And my last pick, this is number 5, is A.J. Brown with Philly.
Okay.
I really think the
Brilliant.
Again, it's amazing. You're going to copy my picks?
I'm your huckleberry.
With Barkley in the backfield, I think it's going to open up some lanes for A.J. Brown, and I think he's going to get more looks, and I think he's going to have a fantastic year.
Okay, well, now that we've seen that you cut and pasted Trick's list.
Oh, please.
So,
please.
Let's be honest.
Come on.
Let's go to Lake Titicaca and tell us what you got there, Trickster.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all
out of bubblegum, motherfucker. So, here's the thing. Yes, you did copy my picks, Carl, but that's okay.
Wrong.
So let me just give you a little order. I'll go quick because we don't need to be redundant. I like Deebo, awesome. I like Tyreek Hill. I like St. Brown, and I like the kid from Dallas,
CeeDee Lamb.
But the number 1 fantasy football player when the smoke clears at wide receiver this year will be your boy, my boy, Garrett Wilson. He's going to be the man. His stats were horrible last year because he had, MILF Hunter?
The MILF Hunter was throwing
the ball, and usually it hit 2 feet in front of him or 2 feet above his head, and he couldn't catch it because he couldn't get the ball thrown to him, which is what I'm going to relate to my bust this week. Not because he's not a great receiver, but because he has no one to throw to. But Garrett Wilson will lead the league in points for fantasy football this year. Mark it down.
All right.
Right
He's going on to
Right.
Jets.
I love it.
All right.
J. Nick.
Here we go.
You beautiful
Here we go.
bald man.
Let's
what
go.
you got?
Let's go. Simple. Devontae Adams, I like. Start him out. In our league, we can move people around, but I like to go with guys that are consistent. Hill, definitely. Amon St. Brown. And I might even start Coleman. I'm going to start him.
Oh, he'll be
So-
great value in a
Because I'm going to need a little bit of cash.
salary
so-
cap league. He'll be a
and
great.
I'm going to move in and out, the obvious guys, what you guys have been talking about. So you guys have actually won quite a few years, and you've been ranked in the country up in the top 10%. So kudos to you. So I'm gonna plagiarize a little bit about what you guys are looking at, your research.
Carl, I do believe. Thank you, John, that you're the man. But I believe it was top 1%. He had 10, which means nothing, but in this case, it does.
Yes,
Top
it
1%.
does. Oh.
Do you concur, sir?
I do concur.
Do you concur?
I concur.
You concur.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Okay.
And for those
you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
and for those of you that are out there, we had to listen to it every week while they were in that position. So
Damn right.
unbearable.
Bragging rights,
Unbearable.
baby. Bragging rights.
It's the reason why I drink, honey. It's a reason why I drink. If you're listening, it's a reason why.
Kelly, I promise you he'll be home for the dinner date tonight, and he'll be okay.
Yes.
So,
Maybe. I don't know.
We don't know. There's a fighting chance the neighbors may not show up.
The day is still young.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad influences.
So, all right. So those are the sleeper picks. You got your top 5. We got. We're gonna do a hard out here with Shooter banging me in my ear right now. But we want to thank our boys over at 3 City Pizza. For those in the Fort Myers area, it is the best pizza. I'm a Chicago guy. They got the Chicago cut. It's just incredible stuff. So we want to thank them for their little investment in us, and we big believers in them. So we'll be back in just a minute. Thank you. And we're back. I just have to tell you, the old tweeter machine right now is going crazy. It's trending pufferfish. So I don't think that's happened for quite some time.
What can I say?
I don't know. But Johnny, you may have had something that sticks there. It's it's one of those things when you're kids, the sticks and stones. And if you don't like what somebody's saying about it, don't complain about it, because then they'll stop calling you. But if you complain about it, they call you more.
Absolutely.
So, Patrick, when the pufferfish came out, he got awfully quiet.
It's one of those things that's nice and cute when he's all swimming around, and all of a sudden, boom! You gotta stay away from him.
And people run away. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Well, we had the heart out to get to our boys from 3 City Pizza, but we're going to come back before we get into breaking down the AFC and NFC North divisions on their over-unders. We got to come back and we need your fantasy busts at wide receiver for the year. And I'll go reverse order this time. Johnny, give us your wide receiver bust for the year.
Patrick and I have been friends for a very, very long time. So when we get along really, really well. And when we fight, boy, it's
like brothers.
It's World War III. So we concur. I mean, he came up. He's right. I agree. Jefferson from Minnesota signed a big contract. He's just not going to get the quality throws to him. He wants the ball. He's a great player. I just don't think he's going to be up to the standard that he's been and make the production that he's made all these years within fantasy football. So I think that's going to be one. As his salary drops, maybe you can add him for some easy games against bad defenses.
He's incredibly talented, coming off a year where he was banged up a little bit, missed some time.
Right.
But obviously, Kirk Cousins has gone to Atlanta, and he inherits number 1 pick for them, J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. Great kid. I think is going to develop into a great quarterback, but probably going to be the backup to Sam Darnold, and until Sam Darnold sees ghosts in Minneapolis like he did in New York. So it's going to be I agree with that pick. That's going to be a tough one. Trick, are you staying in the Justin Jefferson boat, or are you jumping out?
No, absolutely. Just to touch on real quick, the poor guy's talented beyond belief, but he'll never be able to get the ball, and he's going to be double and triple coverage the entire time because he is their offense. The kid will not
got
be
a pretty good tight end up there.
Yeah, but they'll still double team him on every play, and the kid's not good enough to get it in there. Sorry.
Okay.
And here's the reason why he's a bust, much like Marvin Harrison's a sleeper, is because of his draft value, how high he's going to be drafted, how much he's going to cost. he'll still put
Right.
up numbers. But
Great
because
point.
of where you're going to have to draft him or pay for him initially, that's why he'll be a bust.
Yeah, so
The reward's not there.
Correct.
The cost benefit award reward.
yeah,
is just
not
and
there.
I guess
that's what we're trying to say.
for the audience, so they know, we're not saying he's going to be a bust for the year. It's
No.
just the money you have to invest in the fantasy world.
He will not put the numbers
won't
up
produce for
you're
what the
having to
value.
spend. Correct. Or where you pick him in the draft if it's a snake.
Okay, Yoda, give us some words of wisdom. Who's your bust?
Well, it's obvious that you guys saw my bust sheet on Justin Jefferson.
You guys all-
come on.
Beat us again.
I mean,
For the
come
love
on.
of God, Carl, have an original thought.
You know,
Why are
I
you
mean,
here?
No, I mean I concur. I mean, let's face it. I mean, he's going to have a rough year. He's a phenomenal wide receiver. He's got a lot of talent, but Cousins is gone. Okay, and that's going to hurt. So,
Yeah, they got two.
So I'd like to change my pick now because of that. I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. It's going to be the bust.
Well, if
Wrong.
Kyler, I'll be honest with you.
Wrong.
Watch that, because if Kyler Murray doesn't stay healthy,
Oh, yes.
he may be the bust.
So I'm changing it. So this way, for the record, we now have 2 Justin Jeffersons and 1 Marvin Harrison Jr.
All right.
All right, shooters
right.
taking note of that. All right, so we gotta keep moving it forward. We want to get into, last week we did the AFC and NFC East. We're coming back this week to discuss for our betting guys and gals out there the over-unders, the preseason pick for over-under on wins. And we'll start with the AFC North, and we're going to start with the Baltimore Ravens. You know me, I'm a big Derrick Henry fan. I think he's going to be a huge improvement for them. But and that's actually a direct shot at my boy, the pufferfish. But this year they're starting off. Vegas has got him on the board at 10.5. So I'm going to let you go first, Puffer.
Well, thank you. And that's going to be a solid under, because your boy that you like, Derrick Henry, is going to blow a tire within the first 2 or 3 games because there's too many miles on that awesome truck, and he's going to underperform, and they're going to go 10.5 because Burrows is going to be back. Under. I'll leave it at that. Just under.
Yoda?
I think it's going to be over. I think you're underestimating Henry. I think the big guy is going to have a decent year. He's going to contribute. I think that's going to help, the team and Lamar, and I say over.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Johnny?
I think it's going to be over. All that talent on that roster, it's pretty stacked.
Well, when you guys say over at 10.5, so are you having hunches? And we're going to get into those late in the upcoming
saying
weeks.
12
you think they're going to win?
games.
You think they're going to win the division?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Think Baltimore wins the division?
They win 12 games.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get back. We'll move a little east from there, and we'll go to the great state of Ohio and the Cincinnati Bengals. They've got obviously Jamar Chase and Joey Burrow back. Looks healthy. Got a great looking head of lettuce on him. So, Patrick, they are going off at 10.5 as well.
Over. As in it's over, that they're going to hit the over. You can mark it down, it's done. With Burrow's back, being healthy, with 2 phenomenal receivers from LSU, they're going to, it won't even be close. They're going to win 13 games, if not more. They're going to win the division. I know y'all think Baltimore is, and that's cute. But no, they're going to do it. It's Cincinnati. They came from nowhere when Burrows got there, and they built till he got hurt. Built, and he got hurt. This is an off year for being hurt, so he should finish the entire season, and they're going to win a division.
We hope they short up their offensive line to help that, obviously.
Over all day.
Johnny?
So that was my point. They did shore up the offensive line. So I would say you give him just another half second more to carve up the defenses. If that's the case, and he's not getting sacked every other play, it's a definite over.
Yeah.
All right, Carl, we got him at 10.5. That's a big number
10
in the same division.
True, very true. Well, just like I think I'm pretty positive about Aaron Rodgers having a decent year and getting through the first, 4 minutes of the game. I think Burrows, is hopefully going to stay healthy, and if he does, I say over 10.5.
Okay. Well,
hold on a second.
All right.
So for all of you out there, probably should go with the under, right?
If we all 3 agree, go under. Because someone has to lose in that division, boys, and you already have Baltimore going over, Cincinnati's going over. But you do have Cleveland in there too.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go there. Speaking of that, the Brownies. You go move a little bit northeast of Cincinnati, and the Browns are 8.5 this year. Is Deshaun coming back? You got Chubb coming back. I mean, we saw the other day on the tweeter machine that Chubb was squatting over 500 pounds.
Yes,
on his back,
very impressive.
which looked great. Only 8 months late after the injury. So,
I am going to go under because unfortunately Deshaun gets a Chubb when he gets massages, and it's not going to be good for them.
Please, regard me. Boom.
Boom.
Oh,
I
boy.
stand by that.
Okay. The pufferfish just took the words out of my mouth there. I can't speak after that one. 8.5, John. Help me here. Help me.
They're right on the number. Vegas knows what's going on, so it's a flip of a coin. They're gonna either have 8 games or 9 games. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Well, are you taking the over or under?
No, I'm just saying you flip a coin. I would just abstain from that. To be honest,
we
with
have
you.
to have a number, under or over.
He's laying off.
John, do you
You
not
don't have to bet every single thing
John,
that's
do you
out
not
there.
understand the segment? We're trying to get you guys on the docket for making a pick. All right, I can go get some schlub off the street to tell me it's over flip a coin. You're supposed to be my expert
Under.
here, son.
Under.
All right, there we go.
Nice.
Hold him to an under. Shooter, you got that?
Got it.
That's it. All right,
10
Yoda.
10
All right. Well, obviously, I'm not going to jump on their bandwagon. I'm going to say over.
Why not? You've been doing it all night.
So apparently the AFC
Every
North
team
And
is
that's why-
over.
going to be over.
That's my expert pick.
They're all gonna win.
They're going to win every game until they have to play each other, and then it's going to be a tie. So they technically didn't
I'm a
lose.
very positive guy. Positive aura.
You guys have picked 3 teams and there are 3 numbers, and you said they're all 3 of them are
No,
over.
I have said 2 are under. I've said 1. Cincinnati is over. Baltimore and the Brownies are under.
I said under Brownies. Come
Okay.
on.
Well,
Kind
you
of
got-
wanted under, but it's just I didn't want
Let's-
to be accused.
Let's move to the Steel City. The Steelers, obviously Russell Wilson in town, along with Justin Fields. Now they think they've got a quarterback.
Before you give me the number, they're going to win 8 games.
You got to find a way to 9 because they're at 8.5.
Then under all day because this dude takes nothing and makes something. The head coach,
But he always finishes 500 or better.
or better. That's correct. But that's why I'm
With
saying.
17 games, you can't be 500.
Oh, good point. I'm used to the 8 and 8.
Yeah.
He's notorious for 8 and 8. Well, in that case, he's going to be over. I changed my pick.
So you're going to 9. You say he's going to get to 9.
He will win 9 games, not one more than 9.
The standard is the
The
standard.
standard is the standard, and he will
I
be
love
as
me
close
some
to
Mikey
500.
T. I
He'll-
love me some
He'll be as
Mikey
close
T.
to 500 as he can get, so he wins 9.
I just love that coach. He's awesome. All right, Carl.
It's going to be an over. I mean, just help me understand here. Now, Pittsburgh's Pittsburgh. They start off really well, and then they falter at the end. You think they're going to have a phenomenal season, but here again, I don't think it's much over the number.
Okay, Johnny.
Steelers were my childhood favorite team, and I really like Mike Tomlin. So I think he's going to find ways to win. And shocker, I'm over.
Okay, so that's the AFC North. We feel that obviously I'm feeling the temperature of the room. There's some of you that think that the Ravens are going to win, and then the other one's going to think the Bengals are going to win the division.
That is correct.
And then obviously the over and under on the Brownies and the Steelers. All right, we'll move over to the other side, and we'll go to the NFC North, and we'll start off in the Motor City with my boy Man Campbell and his team. Their number is 10.5 as well. We talked about last night in our pregame. My personal feeling on the Lions is, just like the Browns, when the hell is the real Lions going to show up? I don't think they've had back-to-back winning seasons in the last 40 years.
No, they haven't, but they haven't won their division in the last 30 before they did it last year. So they win 12 games this year, win the division, over.
Okay. That's confident. I like it.
That was the pufferfish.
That pufferfish. Yeah. You haven't puffed up yet. You're not swole yet. Johnny?
Over. I think Detroit's trending in the right direction. They've rebuilt. They're playing hard, and I like their scheme, the way they play. I'm actually enjoying watching Detroit play. Reminds me of Barry Sanders back in the day. I mean, if you think about it, Detroit let people down year after year after year. It was just painful to watch. And last season, I think maybe they've turned things around, and it's different this time.
All right, Yoda.
I'm on St. Brown is on my team. I think they are trending in the right direction. I actually enjoy watching them now. I think they have a lot to offer, and I'm going with the over.
Okay. Well, we're going to move to my hometown, sweet home, the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams with his beautiful orange and blue nail polish. What are we thinking? They're 8.5 is the number on the board in Vegas.
They win 4 games.
Wins got them at 8.5.
4 games. That's all they win. 4.
Okay, so under for Patrick.
They win 7 or 8, maybe.
So we're under 2,
Yep.
2 out of 3.
Come on, Carl, go over. Come on.
Just to be
Come on.
different.
Nah.
Just to be different. I mean, Chicago is always struggling. Good defense, offense struggles a lot under.
Under. Okay, so we're under on all that. We'll move up to, obviously, you guys were big fans of the bust with Justin Jefferson. So we'll go with the Vikings. The Vikings are 6.5.
They win 4 games. 4 games. I think their offense is going to sputter. I don't think they're going to be able to figure it out. Defense is weak. I mean, the odds on them winning the division is like a plus 1,000. So it's. I think they're going to struggle this year.
I think just because of Jefferson, he'll will them to 7 games. It's 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5.
They win 7. Because there are teams worse than them out there.
Yeah, and
they'll win 7.
I also think too they last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they lost 4 or 5 games by 3 points or less.
Yeah, the opposite of the year before, where they won all the games.
All the games. It was the.
And Jefferson, to that point, was out. I think for almost a 2-month stretch. That's a lot of games to miss.
And they didn't have a quarterback either.
Correct. Because Cousins went down.
He went down. Yeah, they brought Josh Dobbs in and won and stole a couple games, but.
Yeah, I'll go with 7 just on sheer will of Jefferson, even though statistically he won't have the year he's used to having.
Okay. Johnny?
I'm going to say under, and it's a crapshoot. There may be some injuries that take them to under. So we just don't know. It's like how healthy the team stays. And they might, if they're just not getting the production that they need, they could just basically go for the next year's draft.
Okay. Well, we'll finish the NFC North in the hallowed land of Lambeau Field.
Yes.
Our Green Bay Packers.
Milk and cheese.
Yes. Great spot. And if you haven't been to Lambeau, you're missing out. But the Pack this year are 9.5 is their over-under. Wins got them at 9.5.
Over all day.
It's God's stadium.
I think they win 10 games.
They win. You think 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Push the Lions for the title?
They will. The Lions win it, in my opinion, but they'll be right behind them. Honestly, if Green Bay can steal both games from Detroit on the road and at home, they win the division. If they split, the Lions do.
Okay. Johnny?
Shooter, how many games do they have at home?
Well, they're winning them all. They've got 8.
Okay, so we only need, 2 more games?
Green Bay wins the division.
3. It's 10.5.
9.5.
9.5. Oh, yeah.
So there we go. All right.
Green Bay wins the division.
Boom, boom.
They win at home, so you don't need it'll be fun to watch, and you only need a couple of away games. They're not good on the road, especially when it comes to artificial turf. But
they are good at home.
Yeah, so they are a home team. You got to go over.
I agree.
Okay. Yoda?
Well, it's definitely going to be a race for the title, no doubt. Green Bay, Jordan Love, I like the way he plays. I really think that, it's not a stretch for them to win 10, 11 games.
Okay. I'm a big believer in the Pack. You guys know that.
That's the lock. That is a good lock right there.
Yeah.
How I become a Packers fan, my youngest son, when he was 7, Dad has a cup of coffee with the Chiefs and the Redskins, and then also was born and raised in Chicago, and he becomes a Packer fan. So, and his famous word was, and I go, why, Jackie? Aaron, Dad.
Aaron.
Aaron.
D nice.
Yeah. So Packers go over 9.5, and it'll be a barn burner for the division if everybody stays healthy between them and the Lions, I believe. Bears and Vikings bringing up the rear. Okay, we've got one more heart out, and we come back and we'll wrap up this show with a few peaceful thoughts. Again, we want to thank Tito's Cantina. And we're back. One of my favorite movies, Goonies. Gotta love that. Boy,
Sloth.
Chunk. That was Chunk.
No, that was Sloth.
Was that Sloth?
Sloth?
Oh, no, Chunk was the...
Sloth.
Yeah.
Chunk, and he knocks him over.
Chunk's his buddy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He adopted him, I believe.
Well, thank you for the analogy there, Mr. Pufferfish. All right, since we still have you twinding on the tweeter machine.
For those that speak English, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. My education from the University of Illinois is showing up. All right, we got our final thoughts, and we'll wrap this up. Shooter's got a little segment of the Today in Sports. But, Johnny, what are your final thoughts today?
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow cats and jammers, today is a day of atonement. Today is a day that I have to prove myself that I was wrong. I was wrong. I've been waking up every single day for the last 7 days thinking about Caitlin Clark. And then yesterday, I look at the TV and there she is playing. And then I see the stats on her. So I was ignorant, and I'll admit it. She is amazing. She's changing the sport. I think why I was so sort of condescending was because of all the other players in the WNBA were not getting as much love as she's getting. So it's Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark that. And I'm just sitting there, and I just was tired of it. But I was wrong. And today is a day that I'm going to admit it. Kelly, if you're listening to me, you know it's a hard thing for me. But yeah, she's definitely got the right stuff. Winners win. Winners shut people up. And she is dangerous. Every single time she steps on that court, I got to admit, she's dangerous. She changes the game. And that's what winners do, and that's what success is. So, Scully,
that's impressive.
My man.
That's impressive.
19 assists.
I've got some.
I'm done. I just, I had to say something.
Well, I appreciate that, and I got some family in Iowa City right now who are beaming. But no, I think the most important thing about that, she is a once in a generational talent. But last night, that game, there's some great basketball being played by both teams, which was fun to watch.
Where I kind of came to it, and this is what I was kind of getting in my head, she is dishing the ball in, and she's amazing at assists. But you got the other person that's not missing. They're putting the ball in the net. So,
John, they scored 93 points last night. She had her hand in 66 of them.
Yeah, again, but other people were on the other side of the ball, though. So that was kind of why I was just getting a little tired. But no, I was wrong.
All right.
There you go.
We've got a conversion. I love it.
I've atoned
He's a
for my
believer.
sins.
He's a
I've
believer.
atoned.
All right.
Forgive me.
Trick.
Well, that's hard to follow up. John, I'm very proud of you. And the entire time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen that. So well done. Very impressed. Well, my heart beams. So I had a very long dissertation about the Big Jim from South Park. It's a really funny clip. You should watch it. Hilarious. I was going to go into great detail. But as sitting here, I had an epiphany. Can y'all put the camera on Yoda? There you go. So, staying with the Star Wars theme, you look like Princess fucking Leia with your headphones. Sorry. You look like Princess Leia with your headphones with the curls.
Well, I think too, he's got the alien in the background on the drum set.
If you put headphones on that alien, they'd be twins. Sorry, Carl. Love you, Yoda. You're good. And that's my final thought.
Pufferfish out. All right, Carl, Yoda, bring us home.
All right. I know we have a very educated, group of guys here, and more of an educated audience listening to us and watching us.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Very apropos. Well done, Shooter.
Have you ever wondered about those people that spend $2 to $3 on those little bottles of Evian water?
I really haven't broken that down.
No,
to be
because
honest
I
with
buy
you,
them in
Carl.
bulk at Costco for like $5.
Well, here we go. Try spelling Evian backward.
I can't spell it forward, Carl.
All right, come on. Think.
I need help. Can I phone a friend?
Naive?
Naive. You got it. I see. I told you, you guys were educated.
Well done.
That is my thought of the day.
Naive.
Boo.
Okay, Shooter.
That's because you didn't get it.
Shooter, I am. I'm
He's not
reaching
wrong.
here, but we've got Shooter's thoughts of the day today in sports. Please bail me out
It's
here.
hard to follow that. Hard to follow that. So today in sports, this day in 1939, Henry Picard, we're talking about golf a little bit here, beat Byron Nelson at the Pomona Country Club by 1 stroke with a birdie on the 37th hole to win the PGA Championship. And guess what the purse was back then, boys?
$75.
$1,500.
Wow.
Big money, big money. Also in 1941, Big Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak ended in Cleveland. And lastly, to give a little shout out to the Knowles, our boy, hometown Deion Sanders in 1990 hits an inside the park home run.
Wills.
And that's today in sports.
That's awesome. Okay.
Great job.
Well, great
Thank
job,
you,
boys.
Shooter.
Great job, Shooter behind the board. And thanks to Gentry and his gang. It's been a great week, interesting week in the world, but we want to thank you for sticking with us and watching. We love being here, and be safe out there and be nice to somebody because you never know what'll happen. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll be off next week. I'll be traveling to watch some baseball with my 16-year-old son playing a big event up in Georgia. God bless you, Jackie. See you soon. Have a great night.